Chapter 14. Love in the Social Media Era, Swipes, Likes, and Digital Illusions. We live in a time when you no longer have to wait for chance to bring someone into your life in a park or at an event. All it takes is opening an app on your phone, a few swipes, and suddenly love seems a click away. An attractive profile, a clever bio, 2 or 3 great photos, and you're already getting virtual hearts and admiring messages. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But how much reality and how much illusion hides behind those perfect profiles and smiling emojis? On social media, we all become little directors of our own image. We brand ourselves, carefully choosing what we show the world, a selfie with a flawless smile here, a photo of the perfect vacation sunset there. Filter upon filter, a bit of editing, witty or seductive captions, we create an almost impeccable showcase. Reality? Behind the digital curtain, everyone's life includes ordinary, vulnerable or uncertain moments. Yet online, we rarely post teary-eyed photos or the sink full of dirty dishes. The image we project is an idealized version designed to attract praise. The problem is, sometimes we start to confuse our self-worth with the number of likes we get. Each like gives us a small hit of euphoria, a confirmation that someone somewhere sees and validates us. And yes, it's human to want that. We all want to be liked and admired. But when we live for external validation, we risk building a false identity, like a glossy digital mask that hides who we really are. That digital mask comes with consequences. First, it creates unrealistic expectations, both for us and for those watching. The person who always appears happy and glam online may actually be going through loneliness or anxiety no one knows about. It's just that no one posts, "Today I feel insecure and I need a hug." Instead, we post look of the day and wait for appreciative comments. From the outside, it looks like a fairy tale life, and those looking on inevitably compare themselves to that fantasy. Maybe you've felt that pit in your stomach when you see how in love others look in a seaside photo under a perfect sunset. Why doesn't my life look like that? That subtle anxiety that you're missing out on something important is called fear of missing out, FOMO. Social media feeds it constantly. It always seems like something more beautiful is happening somewhere else, that others are living that perfect love story while you're single or your real relationship has its ups and downs. What don't you see behind a perfect photo of a smiling couple? Maybe there were 50 failed shots before they got one Instagram-worthy image. Or that smile covers insecurities and unresolved arguments. Appearances on social media are often deceptive, but we forget that when we compare our real life with its highs and lows to the tip of the iceberg of other people's lives. On the other hand, the mask we wear online can attract the wrong people. Think of it this way: if you always present yourself as ultra fun and the life of the party, but deep down you're calm and crave stability, what kind of people will you attract? Probably those drawn to superficial sparkle, the very type who may not appreciate your quieter side once they get to know you. Or take an even more delicate example, many young people post provocative, bold photos because that gets attention and compliments. There's nothing inherently wrong with feeling sexy and confident. But if you're actually seeking genuine affection and respect, showing only your seductive side may attract people who are interested solely in your looks. The paradox is that what we project to attract love can bring us the opposite. It's like casting a line hoping for a goldfish but using the wrong bait, and before you know it, the sharks show up. Worse still, sexual predators and emotional manipulators know how to scan this online world for potential victims. Profiles that scream, "Look at me, give me attention" are, unfortunately, a beacon for those with bad intentions. An innocent compliment sent in private can gradually turn into an intense but unbalanced online relationship in which the other person starts to take control. Someone vulnerable, starved for affection, can easily fall into the trap of a person who knows exactly which sweet words to say. And not everyone you meet online is who they claim to be. Catfishing has become a well-known phenomenon. People who create fake profiles and pretend to be someone else to deceive. You could swear you're talking to a young, charming guy with a good job who seems like your soulmate, but if you've never seen him in real life, there's a chance it's just a facade. Behind stolen photos and carefully crafted messages could be someone entirely different, with intentions far from romantic. From scammers looking for financial gain to dangerous predators, the internet gives them perfect camouflage. Even without the extreme cases, relationships in the digital era are shaped in many ways. We communicate more and more through text and emojis, which is convenient but can lead to misunderstandings. The tone of a message can't replace the warmth of a voice or a look in someone's eyes. Then there's the seemingly endless supply of potential partners a swipe away. This creates the temptation not to invest much in a single connection. If something isn't perfect from the start, many say, meh, on to the next one, maybe that one will be ideal right away. Swipe culture can turn the search for love into a kind of people shopping where no one seems good enough because there's always the illusion that someone better is just a tap away. The result: superficial connections that fizzle at the first real obstacle, people treated like profiles to consume rather than complex souls. All these factors, misguided personal branding, exaggerated social validation, FOMO, false identities, the way platforms shape our expectations, can turn love in the social media era into a minefield. The saddest part is that in trying to present ourselves as perfect, we risk losing our authenticity. And the people who love us for our apparent perfection may disappear the moment we show the first real crack. Who remains then? No one, or worse, someone for whom our cracks are exactly what give them power over us. Authenticity may feel risky because you show up for real, flaws and all, but at the end of the day, it's also the best filter against those who don't mean well. A glittering mask sparkles in the online spotlight, but it also attracts unwanted insects. By contrast, the sincere light of your soul may shine more softly, yet it will illuminate only the path of those who truly resonate with you. Let's see next, through a life story, what these principles look like in practice. Jennifer tapped post and tossed her phone onto the bed, trying to steady her heartbeat. She had just uploaded another bold photo on Instagram, a mirror shot in a short red dress, one shoulder bare, a mysterious half-smile at the corner of her mouth. In the caption she'd playfully written, "Feeling cute, might delete later," an English line, coquettish, just like she'd seen popular influencers use. In reality, her heart pounded like before an exam. Every time she posted photos like that, Jennifer felt a mix of excitement and fear. Excitement because she knew the likes and appreciative comments would pour in. Each little heart was a drop of attention she craved. Fear because somewhere, in a corner of her soul, she wondered whether what she was doing was dangerous or wrong. She was shy by nature. In everyday life, she could barely muster the courage to talk to a boy she liked. But online, behind the screen, she felt emboldened by that distance and by the ability to choose what to show. Her profile had become her alter ego. In photos she was bold, sexy, self-assured, while in reality she often felt lonely and unsure of herself. Her phone vibrated. Jennifer grabbed it quickly, with the thrill of someone who has just cast a line and feels a bite. 1 like, 2, 5. The notifications started to pour in. Her girlfriends sent flame and heart emojis. The boys, both acquaintances and strangers, left comments like, "Wow, you're gorgeous." Jennifer smiled to herself. For a moment she forgot her insecurity. In moments like this, all that attention made her feel loved, even if it was only a fleeting illusion. Amid the notifications, she spotted a new private message. She usually received plenty of messages from unknown men, some so vulgar she preferred to ignore them. But this one caught her eye. "Hi Jennifer, sorry to bother you. I came across your profile by chance and was impressed, not just by your photos, which are very well done, but also by the captions you write. You seem like someone with a beautiful heart and a sharp mind. I'd love to get to know you better, Michael." Jennifer reread the message, a little taken aback. It was nothing like the typical approaches. "Hey baby, wanna grab a drink?" Or worse. Michael's tone was respectful and warm, complimenting not just her looks but her heart and intelligence, though deep down, Jennifer doubted that the captions on her photos revealed much intelligence. She usually wrote a few words or a quote about love, nothing very deep. Still, his message gave her a warm feeling, someone who saw beyond the image, or at least that's what he claimed. With her fingers trembling slightly, Jennifer replied, thanking him. Slowly, the conversation took shape. They exchanged a few pleasantries, then moved on to shared passions. Michael said he worked in IT, loved jazz, and went hiking in the mountains. He even sent a photo of himself on a mountaintop at sunset. "So you can see I'm not just saying that, I really love nature," he wrote with a smile. Jennifer looked at the photo. Michael looked great, with a wide smile, a strong jawline, and bright green eyes. "Wow, how lucky am I that he reached out to me," she thought, feeling a pleasant shiver. She began to tell him about her passion for painting, which she had never mentioned on Instagram, afraid no one would care. Michael seemed genuinely interested. He asked which painters she liked, and whether she had photos of her paintings. Jennifer sent a few photos of her pieces, a bit self-conscious, her heart in her throat as she waited for his reaction. "They're beautiful, you've got talent. You're a fascinating person, did you know that?" came his reply. Jennifer felt her cheeks flush. Thank goodness it was just a chat, and Michael couldn't see how emotional she was. She couldn't even remember the last time someone, especially a boy she liked, had said such lovely things to her. Days went by, and Jennifer and Michael talked every day. Their conversations stretched late into the night, moving from jokes and childhood stories to dreams for the future. Jennifer started checking her phone in the morning with a smile. The first message was almost always from Michael. "Morning beautiful, have a wonderful day, can't wait to talk later." During the hours when they weren't chatting, Michael liked her every post and left thoughtful, not cliched, compliments. Jennifer's friends noticed the interaction and asked who the new admirer was. "A really sweet guy on Insta, we've been talking for a while," she answered, trying to keep her voice steady even as her heart danced. The girls teased her, saying maybe something romantic would come of it. Jennifer hoped for that too, with all her heart. She hadn't felt this appreciated and seen in a long time. Michael seemed interested in her soul, not just appearances, and that melted her. A few weeks later, Michael suggested meeting in person. "I'd love to take you to dinner. What do you say? Let's see each other in real life, not just in messages." Jennifer practically bounced with excitement as she read the invitation. Of course she wanted to. Still, her shyness made itself felt. An inner voice whispered, "What if he doesn't really like me? What if he expects me to be as bold as I look in the photos, and in real life I'm all flushed and awkward?" She remembered that in many pictures she came across as very confident, even provocative, images that had given her the courage to attract Michael. But offline, Jennifer knew she was much more reserved. That fear gnawed at her. Before answering, Jennifer told him she was up for meeting, but she suggested this. "Jennifer, how about we meet at X Cafe downtown? It's a nice, quiet place." Michael, I've got an even better idea. How about you come over to my place? I'll cook something special for us. I promise it'll be a great evening, just the two of us. No noise, no waiters, so we can get to know each other in peace." Jennifer hesitated. On the one hand, the idea of an intimate dinner he'd cooked made her smile. It sounded very romantic, like in the movies. On the other hand, a small alarm bell rang in her mind, a first date at his place. Not very wise. Her best friend Jennifer had always told her, for a first date, always choose a public place. Jennifer hesitated to refuse outright, not wanting to upset Michael. She suggested timidly, "Jennifer, I'd really love to taste your culinary skills, but what if we met in town the first time? Maybe for tea, a walk, I don't know you in real life yet, and..." She doesn't get to finish the sentence before Michael replies, his tone sounding slightly different. "Michael, I thought you trusted me. Sorry, I didn't realize I might make you feel uncomfortable. I just prefer something more private. But if you really want to meet in public, sure, whatever you want." Jennifer reads the message and feels a tightening in her chest. Michael hasn't been aggressive, but something in his wording, "I thought you trusted me," makes her feel guilty. Maybe she's overdoing the caution. After all, he's been so nice so far. I have to trust him. Jennifer tells herself, "I'm not going to lose him now just because I'm afraid." Maybe he really does want something special. So she accepts the invitation to his place, pushing away the dark thoughts. Michael immediately returns to his enthusiastic tone, sends her his address, and sets Saturday for dinner. When the evening of the date arrives, Jennifer is a whirl of emotions. She gets ready with extra care, more than she would have for an ordinary outing. She softly curls her hair, chooses an elegant dress that isn't too low cut. She wants to look nice, but she's afraid of seeming too provocative in person. In the mirror, she sees her cheeks flushed with emotion and her eyes shining with hope and with anxiety. Calm down, it will be fine, she tells herself quietly. Her heart is pounding as she gets into the taxi that takes her to Michael's apartment. Michael lives in a nice part of town, in a new building. Jennifer steps out of the taxi, smooths her dress, and takes a deep breath before texting him that she's arrived. He comes down immediately to meet her at the entrance. In person, Michael looks like his photos, maybe a bit taller than she had imagined. He smiles broadly when he sees her and hands her a small bouquet of flowers. "I'm really glad you came, Jennifer," he says, looking into her eyes with warmth. Jennifer feels her face flush with emotion, but she smiles back. "I'm glad too. Thank you for the flowers. They're very beautiful," she whispers. He leads her into the apartment. The interior is modern, tastefully arranged. The delicious smell of pasta and basil hangs in the air. It seems Michael really did keep his word about cooking. Jennifer starts to relax a little. The atmosphere is pleasant, the lights are warm, soft jazz playing in the background, exactly like the fantasies she'd had about a perfect date. Dinner unfolds almost like a lovely dream. Michael is a skilled cook, the pasta is delicious, the red wine flows into their glasses, the conversation sparkles. Jennifer laughs a lot, as if she'd known Michael all her life. They talk for hours, settled into his comfortable couch, about their plans, about music, about life. At one point, Michael takes her hand in his and gently strokes it. "You know, it's incredible. You're even more stunning in person," he whispers, his gaze fixed on her lips. Jennifer feels a wave of emotion sweep over her. Even though her body quivers with shyness, her soul is dancing. A guy this wonderful is saying such things and touching her hand so tenderly. She's about to say something, but Michael leans in slowly and kisses her. His lips find hers with easy confidence, the first kiss. Jennifer closes her eyes, tries to surrender to the moment, but something unsettles her. His kiss is a little too insistent. His hand circles her waist and then drifts down toward her thigh. Jennifer eases back, lifting his hand away. She smiles, trying to seem casual, even as her heart starts to pound in alarm. "We're moving a bit fast, don't you think?" she whispers, pulling back slightly to meet his eyes. Michael sighs, forcing a smile. "Sorry, you're right. I got carried away. You're very attractive and I lose my head around you," he says, lifting his hands in an innocent gesture. Jennifer tries to steady her pulse. She takes a sip of wine and smiles back. She goes on talking about her job, trying to restore the easy mood. But after a few minutes, Michael leans in again and kisses her neck without warning, pulling her close. This time, the movement gives him away. He's much more insistent and rushed. His hands start to roam over her back, dropping again toward places Jennifer isn't ready to share. "Michael, please. I don't want to. Not yet," Jennifer says, breathless, trying to stop his hands. Instead of stopping gently as she'd hoped, Michael's expression changes completely. His eyes darken, and that warm smile collapses into a grimace of frustration. "Seriously, Jennifer?" he shoots back, his tone clearly irritated. "I thought you were different, not like the others who play hard to get. I mean, look at you." He rakes his eyes over her from head to toe, and Jennifer suddenly feels very exposed in her little dress. "You post all those sexy photos, you tease men online every day, and now, when you're with me, you play coy. What did you expect?" Each word lands like a punch. Jennifer freezes, unable to believe the change. Michael, her gentle, respectful Michael, is now speaking with a cold contempt in his voice. He's judging her for exactly what she thought he'd understood and accepted. "No, I don't. I'm not trying to provoke. I'm sorry if you got the wrong idea," Jennifer stammers, feeling a lump rise in her throat. "If I misunderstood, he repeats, raising his eyebrows. What do you think men think when they see you practically naked on the internet? You flaunt your body and then get mad when they want it. Come on, let's be serious. Jennifer feels her eyes welling. She shrinks farther back on the couch, trying to cover her cleavage with her arm. The reality of his words bites into her. Is that really what people think of me? That I'm asking for that? She suddenly feels dirty and ashamed. All the confidence Michael had built up in her over the past few weeks collapses like a sandcastle. Michael lets out a theatrical sigh and springs to his feet. You know what? I think it would be better if you left, he says curtly, gathering the plates left on the table. I can see we're both wasting our time. Jennifer stares at him, mouth slightly open. Stunned, she barely recognizes him. The tone, the words, the gestures, all his charm has evaporated, replaced by a cold, angry stranger. For a moment she feels the urge to placate him, to explain that she really likes him. She just needs time. But then something finally clicks in her mind. As if watching her own behavior from the outside, she realizes she'd been about to beg for the affection of a man who had just insulted her and pressured her to do something she didn't want. No, enough. She stands slowly, legs a little weak with emotion, but her back straight. You're right, I'm leaving, Jennifer says, her voice low but steady. Michael glances at her, surprised by her tone. He looks like he wants to say something more, but Jennifer doesn't wait. She walks out the door without looking back, her heart heavy. Once out on the street, the cold night air slaps her burning cheeks. Jennifer starts walking aimlessly. She doesn't even call a taxi. Tears begin to spill, unchecked. She feels humiliated, disappointed, furious at Michael, at herself, at the stupidity of the whole situation. How did she not see it sooner? All those sweet compliments, all that cared to make her feel special, and then, at the first sign of resistance, he completely changed. Was this the real Michael all along? She wonders between silent sobs. Or maybe, somewhere along the line, she sent the wrong signals too. His words still ring in her head. You post those photos and then play coy. What did you expect? What did I expect? Jennifer remembers how, when he asked if she trusted him, she felt guilty. How she ignored her instincts because she was afraid of losing him. How she curated her online profile to look like a femme fatale. Even though she's sensitive and romantic, she attracted exactly the opposite of what she wanted. Jennifer gets home shattered. Her mother's first concern, she'd been waiting up, worried because it was late, is whether her daughter is okay. Jennifer just nods and retreats to her room, saying she's tired. She locks the door and collapses onto the bed. Her phone pings a notification. She picks it up mechanically, a message from Michael. With a trembling hand, she opens it. Did you get home okay? Sorry I got angry. I really care about you, but you hurt me by turning me down. Can we talk? Jennifer reads it and feels a wave of indignation. How dare he to blame her for hurting him when he was the one who... She realizes with a jolt that this is a manipulation game. Michael is trying to flip the situation and make her feel guilty. In the past, Jennifer would have fallen for it because she genuinely did feel guilty that maybe she'd done something wrong. But now, replaying the scene, she can see clearly that she wasn't the one in the wrong. She said no, and that should have been enough for anyone with truly good intentions. Without another thought, Jennifer hits block on his profile. Her tears have stopped. She feels drained, yet determined to change her life. That night, she struggles to fall asleep. Her thoughts are jumble. She feels betrayed, and at the same time set free. The next morning, after only a few hours of sleep, Jennifer wakes with eyes swollen from crying. She gets up slowly and goes straight to the mirror on the wall. She sees a tired version of herself, without her glamorous makeup, hair tousled, the real Jennifer, vulnerable and genuine. She picks up her phone and opens Instagram. Her finger hovers over the screen for a few hesitant seconds. Then she starts deleting. She deletes the recent photo in the provocative red dress, then an older one in a swimsuit by the pool with a bold caption, "Delete, delete, delete," the tears returning but somehow liberating. She leaves only a few more subdued photos on her profile, One of her and her friends laughing over coffee, another of a landscape from last summer's mountain hike, and one where she's holding a canvas she painted, smiling shyly. Photos that reflect who she really is. She thinks for a long time about whether to write something, a message for the few people who actually follow her. In the end, she posts to her stories a plain background that reads, "Sometimes we lose ourselves trying to be liked by everyone. As for me today, I remembered I want to be liked for who I truly am." No further explanation. Those who know, the rest don't matter anyway. As she sends that message into the digital ether, Jennifer feels a weight lift from her shoulders. She's scared, will she still get as much attention now? Will she still be popular? But that fear is accompanied by a new sense of calm. Maybe for the first time, she's no longer afraid to be herself, even if it means less sparkle online. She thinks about the love she longs for, real, gentle, a love that knows her soul. And she knows no light can replace the honest touch of someone who holds you in real life, knowing both your best and your worst. That morning, Jennifer leaves the house without makeup, her hair casually pulled back, and meets her friend for a walk in the park. She tells her everything that happened, candidly, tears in her eyes. "I'm so glad you're okay, Jennifer, and I'm proud of you. This is a new beginning, you know," her friend whispers. Jennifer feels the autumn breeze on her cheeks and manages a slight smile. A new beginning. Yes. With small, steady steps, she starts to believe it too. Jennifer's story is, unfortunately, one many young people in the social media generation might relate to. Jennifer built an online image designed to attract attention and validation, a seductive personal brand that contrasted with her true self, sensitive and shy. The result? She drew exactly the kind of attention that deep down she didn't want. Michael was attracted to Jennifer's mask, to the smiling, provocative girl in the photos, and like a modern predator, he knew how to play the perfect boyfriend just long enough to win her trust. He gradually became manipulative, trying to control her choices, insisting she come to his place, making her feel guilty for wanting a public spot, and exploiting the fact that she craved affection. When Jennifer set boundaries, he showed his true colors. He blamed her and tried to make her feel bad for his own actions. This pattern is typical of manipulators, charming at first, then, once the victim doesn't comply with their wishes, turning abusive or aggressive. The situation perfectly illustrates the very dangers discussed earlier. Jennifer experienced firsthand the illusion of the online image. She thought she'd found a guy who liked her for who she was, but in reality he'd been drawn to who she appeared to be online. The gap between her online persona and her real self created false expectations on both sides. At the same time, Michael turned out to be one of the people we warned about, a potential predator who used the online environment to find a vulnerable target. In search of validation and love, Jennifer ignored red flags, his passive-aggressive tone when she refused his initial suggestion, how quickly he pushed for physical intimacy until it was almost too late. Fortunately, she realized in time and managed to pull back, understanding that safety and self-respect matter more than the attention of any digital prince. The story also reflects the concept of catfishing, in a subtle form. Although Michael wasn't necessarily fake in terms of identity, the photos were his, the job perhaps real, the personality he initially displayed was like a false identity. He pretended to be an empathetic gentleman just to get what he wanted. In a way, Jennifer was catfishing herself and others too, presenting herself online in a way that didn't truly represent her. They were both wearing masks. And when the masks fell, reality proved painful. As we close this chapter, I invite you to reflect on how you present yourself in the virtual world, dear reader. How much of what you show on screens truly represents you, and how much is there just to collect likes? We all want to be liked, admired, loved. It's human nature. But true love doesn't need perfect filters or carefully polished captions. True love begins where you show up as yourself, vulnerabilities and imperfections included, without fear of being judged. Social media isn't the enemy in itself, it's a tool. It can be a beautiful bridge connecting people who might never have met otherwise. You can absolutely meet the right person online. The key, however, is how you show up and what you're looking for. Authenticity is the best shield in an age of digital illusions. When you're genuine, those who don't appreciate you as you are will quietly remove themselves from your friends list. And that's for the best. It means they weren't right for you anyway. Meanwhile, the right people will be drawn to your true light. You may not rack up thousands of likes that way, but you'll gain something far more valuable: self-respect and sincere relationships. Think of Jennifer. She realized she would rather be loved for who she truly is, not for a false ideal. Her decision to let go of the artificial gloss was, in fact, the first step toward truly finding her happiness. She may no longer receive the superficial attention she once did, but when the right person comes along, they will see the real Jennifer and love her for the wonderful person she is. And that is far more precious than any illusion. In a world of clicks, swipes, and filters, the courage to be authentic is like a lighthouse on a foggy night. It protects you from the wrong ships that might collide with you, and at the same time guides to your shore the very vessel you've been waiting for. It may take a little longer, and the path may be marked by moments of loneliness or uncertainty. But remember, better to wait for someone who loves your true self than to be loved for a mask. The right kind of love will come, and when it does, you won't have to be anyone but yourself. So the next time you wonder whether to post something just for validation, or you feel envy stirred by other people's perfect lives, remember Jennifer and her lesson: protect yourself with authenticity. In love, as in life, those who truly deserve you will value you for all that you are, not for the illusions you can create. And this is perhaps the most liberating truth of the social media age. Being yourself is the magic filter that will light your way to the person who will love you exactly as you are: unfiltered, imperfect, real.